Yo, hey guys, Pop and Jacques Slade here. And today we got a great list of sneakers that are dropping. But before we get to those, I wanted to show you guys these. And I wasn't going to show these on camera. It's the Air Jordan 4 Rare Air that comes in the special box. Now, like, these weren't hype. And like, I've gotten to this point now where like, I don't show everything that I buy. I don't show everything that I pick up because sometimes I feel like people just wouldn't be interested. But these, when I finally got to look at these, I was so excited about the way that these looks. I figured like, you know what? Let's just show them off. Let's do a quick unboxing and then we'll get into the sneakers that are releasing this week. So without further ado, let's check out the Air Jordan 4 Rare Air. They come in the old school, stylish sort of box with Michael Jordan's face there on the front. It's simply called the Air Jordan 4 Retro Black Fire Red Deep Royal Blue. This is a size 11, which is my size. Inside we have the Flight logo, which always looks nice, and just cement print on the paper. Nothing really special there, but then the shoes, these, I just really love the way that these came out. Just look at that. Just such a really beautiful looking shoe. So I'm obviously a big fan of the Air Jordan 4. If I had to pick like Jordans that I like the most, it would be the 3 and the 4. Like, I'm a big fan of the 1. I have a ton of ones, but the 3 and the 4 just stand out to me when it comes to Jordans. There's just something really special about those. And, you know, maybe it's because they're so similar, like the 3 and the 4 are very, very similar. But, yeah, let's get into it. So this is the Air Jordan 4 Rare Air. As you can see, it has that vintage treatment on it. And the whole story and intent behind these was that back in the days when the Jordan 1 was released, that there were all of these like different samples and messed up versions that were released, that sometimes things got mixed up when the shoes were released. Like a logo would be misplaced or the colors would be wrong or something like that. And so that's kind of what these represent. So you see you have like that vintage yellow there on the midsole. You have the Nike Air on the back, which is always popping. Another touch here on the tongue, you have the Velcro patch, and these are the gold pair. So there was 2 different pairs that had different writing here. Some had white, some had gold. Looks like I have the pair that is in gold. So you have the, can you get that in focus? Is that gonna focus? No, there you go. You have the Flight patch there. Then you have the hang tag. You have the blue hang tag instead of the orange. Now, some people were saying that this was a Detroit Pistons colorway as kind of an ode to the team that Michael Jordan had the most problems with back in the day. But I don't know. I'm rocking with the Rare Air. You have obviously the upside down Air Jordan there. The outsole even has all of the different colors there. And then something really cool is on the insoles. These insoles, they say Rare Air. This is actually a pretty nice insole considering. So you have the Rare Air there on the insoles as that final touch. Something else that really kind of pops with these for me is the toe box. They kind of have, I don't know if you guys have seen the Fear Force. So this is like almost like a gray as opposed to a black. Like if this is black here, the nubuck here, this is almost like a grayish black or like a smoky gray, which gives the shoes a little bit of texture there at the toe. Honestly, just one of my favorite pickups that I've made this year. Definitely be rocking these. Might throw some golf spikes in these and get these on the course. But yeah, one of my favorites. Really happy that I picked these up. They came with an extra set of laces, though I doubt I actually change them out to the blue. But they have like this light blue and like a purplish blue. Like it's like a purplish blue color there, but I doubt I actually switch these out. I need to switch out my laces more. I don't do that quite as often as I would like to, but yeah, just an option. So yeah, these are actually still available on Nike.com if you want to grab yourself a pair. I don't know how many people are super interested in these, but I was super interested in these. I love the pops of the red and the blue. Actually, is it blue? What's the actual proper color? Royal. The red and the royal just really pop for me on these. So I guess if you're a Clipper fan, this is a cool pair. You can wear to like a Clipper game for, anyway. But how many Clipper fans are there? Sorry, that was unnecessary. That was completely unnecessary. Anyway, Let's get to the releases that are dropping this week. Got some good stuff dropping. So for you fans of the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Los Angeles Chargers, you might be interested in these two new colorways of the vintage turf shoe, the Astro Grabber. Former Chargers great Dan Fouts endorsed the Astro Grabber once upon a time, so this is a nice kind of full circle moment for the Hall of Famer. So that's the Nike Astro Grabber in yellow and black. That's going to be on the 26 for $135, but then you also can get it in powder blue and yellow on the 26 for $135 as well. For you Harden fans, kind of like those right there, the Volume 9 is dropping in core black and warm vanilla. That's going to be on the 26 for $160. You cozy game aficionados, rejoice as Animal Crossing makes its footwear return with a Crocs collab. While most gamers have moved on from their island post-pandemic, fans of the franchise will love that the reference including characters Isabel, Timmy, Tommy Nook, KK, Slider, and the personification of capitalism, Tommy Nook. You guys know. If you know, you know. So you have the women's Animal Crossing Crocs platform clog that's going to be on the 26 for $85, but then they have a kids version as well that's only going to cost you $55. The Nike GT3 Turbo is in the Drew Holiday PE is going to drop on the 28th for $200. Wow. I'm not sure what the inspiration for this latest collab between LA-based Braindead and Adidas is for the 3-pack of Japan Lows and a cowboy boxing boot-esque Japan High. My first thought when seeing these new kicks with yellow and blue flames is that somebody is a fan of chain wallets and Pimp My Ride cars with the flames coming out of the side, but maybe that's just me. So you have the Braindead Adidas Japan Low in brown, olive, and yellow. That's going to be on the 28th for $140. You can also get it in black, blue, and white for the same price. But if you want to go with the high, it's going to be on the 28th for $160. Now, Puffer Red, they have the Adidas Cushion 3. This is going to be on the 28th for $150. So fans of Pharrell's Addy Star Jellyfish but can't stomach the $300 price tag or whatever they'll go for at resale can check out the sneaker that's inspired it, the Cushion 3. This pair is actually a collaboration as it features an iconic store in the Detroit area called Puffer Reds. Rosé of Blackpink has expanded her reach and jumped into the sneaker world with Puma. Her work on the Speedcat and offshoot Speedcat Ballet are sure to turn some heads with the co-branded elements and the unique lacing system that are pretty uncommon for fans of this iconic sneaker. So you have the Rosé Puma Speedcat on the 28th for $110, but you can also get the Speedcat Ballet on the 28th for $110 as well. For you New Balance fans, we have the 990 V6 made in the USA. That's going to be in dark camel on the 28th for $200. The Nike Air Diamond Turf Emerald is going to be on the 29th for $155. So I'm thinking third time's a charm for the Emerald Diamond Turf, as previous iterations of the sneaker release when Deion Sanders and Nike were not on the best of terms. Now that both parties are simpatico, this new edition will feature Coach Prime's branding and a new pattern on the tongue. And that's why I hope other former Nike athletes who have signature shoes laying dormant at the moment find their way back to the swoosh so we can actually get a proper retro. For you KD fans, we have the KD 18 Rise. It's going to be on the 29th for $155. And despite only playing one season, Kevin Durant has always kept the University of Texas close to his heart. It explains the number of the PEs that have dropped during the time, with a handful of them actually releasing in stores. This new colorway will unofficially be UT Roots, and its branding is the latest to be available to the public. So these should be on your radar. You also have the Nike KD 18 Immortalized. It's going to be on the 18th for $235. So it's a year late, but Nike's finally getting around to honoring last year's epic run by Team USA Basketball to a gold medal. Maybe they weren't super confident about the team bringing home the gold. Who knows? But what is cool is we're finally getting the gold, even if this isn't the pair that KD wore for the gold medal game. It's confusing. Fans of 90s comedy classic Clueless with Alicia Silverstone and Stacey Dash in less complicated days, I guess, are getting a sneaker collab on the 30th anniversary of the film with Reebok based on the characters that they played. So you have the Clueless Reebok Club C on the 29th for $85, and then you have the Reebok Campio Extra on the 29th for $90. The Puma MB-05 World Tour. This is going to be on the 29th for $125. Regardless of what most people above the age of 30 think about LaMelo Ball and his Puma signature shoe line, there's no denying that to the younger generation, he is a rock star in 2025 terms. However, the Puma MB-05 is taking an 80s approach with this new signature shoe with mesh patterns and drippy diamond cuts that might suggest someone who hung out at the Roxy during its heyday. I just realized making a Roxy reference is super old. Anyway, you have the Kiko Konstantinov A6 UB11S Gel DS Trainer 14 in Coneflower. I'm going to try that again. That's going to be on the 29th, but you also have in graphite on the 29th. The Kiko Konstantinov Asics UB11S Gel DS Trainer, like 14. How could they not make that name shorter? Anyway, Awake NY Air Jordan 5 Racer Blue. This is the sneakers and a neighborhood release. It's going to be on the 30th for $230. So after debuting 2 weeks ago, a sudden contender for Air Jordan collab of the year will be getting a wider drop on Sneakers app and the neighborhood, aka neighborhood locations. The New York inspired Racer Blue nearly doubles the production numbers of the pink pair to the tune of 13,000 made. So hopefully that means everybody watching this and wants it will actually be able to do so. Keeping with the Jordan train, the women's Air Jordan 5 is dropping in sale on Luminous Green on the 30th for $200. I've heard not so great things about that shoe and about that colorway, but we'll just see how it actually happens when it hits retail. We have the Nike Air Tech Challenge 2 and Pixel Court. This is going to be on the 30th for $150. And then one of my favorite releases of the week, the Bruce Lee Adidas Jabbar Low Game of Death. This is on the 30th. So a sneaker collaboration that really should have happened literally decades ago. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar's signature shoe in a low-cut form pays homage to the legendary Bruce Lee. Jabbar was featured in Lee's final and sadly unfinished film, Game of Death. The sneaker uses a yellow suede upper that's reminiscent of the yellow tracksuit that he wore in the film, while his logo appears on the tongue and his signature can be found on the heel. An image of Kareem from the film can also be found on the footbed. Moving on. A trainer once worn by Pele, Kid Super's next collab with Puma gives us a pair in the Brussels with vintage styling like dusty suede panels that have some pre-worn feel to them. It's an interesting look for sure, as they look like they could have come straight from the 1970s and into today. So you have the Kid Super Puma Brazil in red that's going to be on the 30th for $130, and then you have the same shoe is going to be in brown on the 30th for $130 as well. Again, appreciate y'all for sticking around, and yeah, this is one of my new favorites for 2025. Not super popular, not something that's going to turn heads or anything like that, but for me, I really, really love it. Anyway, as always, appreciate you guys. Make sure you like, favorite, and subscribe and all of those good things. And again, these are still available if you want to grab yourself a pair. I'm sure you can find them either at Nike.com or at your local store, where you should always be shopping at your local store anyway. Anyway, as always, appreciate you, and I'll see you guys soon. Peace.